This is going to be a quick tutorial on how you can use Google AutoDraw to design your epic superhero for the logo, the character, or anything else. To share with you how to use AutoDraw, I'm going to be working on a character called Panda, and this right now could be the character that I'm designing or a mask covering. It could also be a logo. But I want to share with you some of the features of AutoDraw. If you use your mouse over the side of any of these buttons, it will pop up next to it what that button is. So AutoDraw has stars around it, Draw does not. The text tool is the letter T. The fill is a paint bucket. Then you have a shape tool. Those are the 5 drawing tools that you can work with. Down here below the color selector, you have zoom, undo, and trash. The top button up here is the select tool. I'm going to start this over. Whoops. I'm going to hit the select tool and change everything. Now you'll see that my background is black and I can change the color. You might have a white background the second you open it, or you might see the last thing you worked on if it's not your first time. Here's my purple background. I'm going to change up Panda just a little bit so that you can see some of the features. Now, it is important to remember that everything is built in layers, and that's the first thing you put down. So think of this as a painting program. If I were to paint the sky first and then paint a mountain on top, the sky is always going to be behind the mountain. What I mean by that is if I take a type and I'm going to do Panda Pop as lettering, and I'm going to select it, and let's change to a different font. If I want to create an effect with this, I think I want to do actually 3 colors this time. I'm going to take this, I'm going to hit Control C, Control V, and I've created a copy. Now I'm going to make that copy a different color so that I can create an effect of a shadow. Now I could control that anywhere I want. What I cannot do, no matter what, is put this in front. Because I laid this light blue one down first, the simplified program is not going to allow you to put that in front. I am going to go with one more, and yeah, let's just get really strange in our Panda Pop. I'm gonna go to Sweet. So now I am going to start creating the actual Panda character, and the AutoDraw tool is going to allow me to do some really basic drawings. This does not look much like a panda, but AutoDraw is checking everything that it has to help compare what I'm drawing to things in its database. So if I were to start clicking up here, it says, did you mean a koala? Did you mean, ooh, and that's a different panda. You might have recognized that I chose this one first. Did you mean a gorilla? Did you mean a monkey? Did you mean an owl? Some of them are quite silly. I'm gonna actually try out this panda since you've seen the other one, and it's a bit too big. So I'm going to select him and size him down. I'm going to move him over. If I want to change the outline color while he's selected, I can do that. When I go to fill a section with the black, not every AutoDraw is going to allow you to pick out the different shapes. This one is unfortunately only going to let me fill in the whole shape as one color. So if I wanted to play with that, I could use the draw tool and go to white and size it and then I can start filling in by hand. Now this takes a little bit of patience, and even though it looks like, oh, I'm filling this shape in, something you need to think about is I'm going to move this panda in a moment, and you're going to see where this white is just hanging out. I used an outline and a fill to fill it in. I am going to stick with some white eyes for this for now. And so sometimes it'll also go back to the select tool because it thinks that's what you are trying to do is select. So if I were to move this panda in the future, do you see those white colorings that we just did? I'm going to click undo for that move. If I want to move him or resize him in the future, I need to use the select tool and select that whole area to grab both of them. Now it also grabbed the top lettering, which I didn't want, or you can grab a section. If you wanted to delete this section, you would just select this and hit the delete button. I want to do the details for the eyes, so what I'm going to do is use my zoom tool, and I have the ability to click here, or I can click up here with the zoom. I think that I'll just use that. And now I want to get in my eyeballs. Oh dear. I need a new color. There's one eyeball. There's two. And now I'm going to move it over, and I'm going to go ahead and fill it. So this way I was able to add that on, and now I'm going to add the bubble gum. And I'm going to grab my pink right here. So let's get a bubble about this size. And then I'm going to fill that and add so that he's blowing the bubble. I'll just tuck that in. And then to add a little dimension to it, I'm going to go ahead and add some shine to this. Grab the white. Make my tool smaller. Now your tool is going to look huge even though you've selected this, because remember, we zoomed in 300%. So if you need to, you can always make your tool much smaller, which is what I'm doing to make that shine on my bubble gum. Now I'm going to back off of this. Actually, let's get a little bit of an outline too. That's the color I chose. Could I'm going to use a magenta. Yeah, we'll stick with that. So now I'm ready to zoom out, and I can keep zooming in, but there's no out unless you hit the percentage up here. So I've now zoomed out, and here is my panda with his eyeballs and his bubblegum power. And now I'm ready to center him. And so I'm using the select tool to gather everything. And I'm gonna make my panda now much bigger. Oh dear. So my drawing tool stays the same. And my panda gets small. I'll just stick with about that size. Maybe what I'll do is make these all smaller. I'm gonna select these and grab from a corner. So what I've made here could be the logo or the character design for my epic superhero. If I wanted to save it, all I need to do is click the 3 lines above the select tool and download. That's how you use Google Auto Draw.